Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we are covering Golduck. Now Golduck is actually one of my favourite Pokemon. It's really interesting to use competitively because its stats overall are not amazing. It has got pretty lackluster, if I'm completely honest. Base 75, 78 in defense and base 80 in special defense are okay. I mean, you can live a hit, maybe two. But this is definitely going to be one of your lower tier Pokemon, especially if you play a Showdown or with kind of the Showdown idea of like OU, UU, RU, for example. Golduck is lower down, but it's also a really good Pokemon to have lower down. It also is a fantastic Pokemon to have in a rain team or in scenarios where your opponent is running weather. So, for example, in draft, you can have Cloud9 to get rid of the weather entirely, which can be incredibly helpful for you. Now, I've got 4 sets today. The first one we have got is a Damp Rocks Rain Dance set. Now, you can combine this with another Rain Dance user or a Drizzle user, for example, Pelipper. But I just thought we can put this all on one set and see where we go with it. So we've got a Damp Rock, which allows us to extend our Rain Dance from 5 turns to 8 turns. We've got Swift Swim, which doubles our speed in the rain, going from 269 to 538, I think it is. Very, very high speed there, outspeed basically everything, including the majority of things that are scarfed. You've then got Scold, powerful style water type attack, and it has a chance to burn a Pokemon by 30%, so that's also pretty fantastic. You've got Psychic, powerful psychic type attacks. Obviously, a lot of people think that Golduck was hard done by because it didn't get that psychic ability, but it does have that psychic lore to it. Psychic type, sorry, not ability. But yeah, we've got Psychic on here, which will obviously cover a variety of different Pokemon, poison types, fighting types as well. And then we've got Ice Beam, which is going to be good against things like your grass types, which you are weak to, and obviously hits things like flying types as well, and also ground types, which are going to be really helpful to cover. EV-wise, I've gone for max special attack and max speed with a modest nature, so more special attack, less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. The idea here, you don't want the plus speed nature because you don't want to overdo it with the speed. In fact, realistically, you probably could just go for a bulky max HP, max special attack, modest nature if you wanted to, especially if you're running something like Sticky Webs. It would be overkill to have that max speed, but having that max speed with the Rain Dance Swift Swim doubling, it can be very helpful for you, but I wouldn't recommend going the plus speed because it's just excess at that point. So plus special attack on this one. Obviously your special attack is a fair bit better than your attack stat, so you are going to probably want to use a special attack sweeper. If you can bat and pass some special attack stats on, such as a, I don't know, Nasty Plot, Ambipom, it just comes into some head. I think Ambipom has bat and pass, but if you can bat and pass a Nasty Plot onto Golduck, then this thing is going to look pretty solid, especially in a rain team. You can obviously divide things a little bit more. You could even do Swift Swim choice specs if you go for a rain team, but I just wanted to go with the independent Golduck there. Moving on to the second Golduck, we have got a Carmine setup Golduck with a Life Orb. Now, you don't need Life Orb. You could have like a Rindo or a Rakan Berry to reduce down the super effective attacks. You could have Leftovers. You could have Citrus Berry. You could have Salak Berry. Lots and lots of different things. You've got Cloud9 as your ability. Now, this gets rid of any weather, so it's really, really solid to use against any weather teams. The only other time that Golduck is really useful in its abilities is with Damp. So, Swift Swim, I'd say, is the best. Cloud9 is pretty good in certain situations, and then Damp has a very, very specific situation, which, you know, it depends on how the opponent plays their plays a lot of the time. So, I'd say you probably want to go for Cloud9 more often than you want to go for Damp. So we've got Calm Mind here, allows you to increase your special attack and special defense by 1 stage each time that you use it. That's absolutely fantastic. It can really make you a little bit bulkier, allowing you to live a few more hits. Hydro Pump, which is a powerful water type attack boosted by Stab, does have the chance to miss though. If you do want to go for something that is less likely to miss, you could always go for Surf, but you do have to obviously forfeit some of that power there. I personally prefer to use Surf over Hydro Pump, unless it's a specific calc for a specific Pokemon. But I do prefer accuracy over power. But if you want to use the power front, you can use Hydro Pump. If you want to use the accuracy front, use Surf. Focus Blast, which is powerful fighting type attack. It hits a lot of different things. So normal types, it hits steel types, it hits rock types. I'm sure there's another type, dark types it hits as well. Really, really good coverage. And then Ice Beam, again, just for that general coverage, hitting a few more different Pokemon for super effective damage. Eevee's very similar to the last time. You've got max special attack and max speed, but you have got the timid nature, so more speed, less attack in this one. I think more speed is going to be beneficial for you in this one, particularly because obviously you've not got that speed boost on you that you get from the Swift Swim. Obviously, if you could run this in a Swift Swim situation where you have got a Pokemon that's running Drizzle, but obviously you can also run this without the Drizzle and go for the Cloud 9 effects as well. The amount of times that I wanted to get the weather, that's the word, the weather off the field, the amount of times I wanted to do that and not have an effective way of doing that has been kind of crazy. So something that you definitely can consider. Moving on to the third one, I've got more of a support Golduck here. We've got Clear Smog. This gets rid of any stat raises on the opposing Pokemon. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I see something Swords Dance or do 2 Swords Dances or something like that, I know that I am going to be struggling. So I love to have Clear Smog on a set or some Pokemon to be able to get rid of that setups, and it also prevents them from setting up later on, or is more likely to prevent them, shall I say, because they are less likely to set up again because they know you're going to Clear Smog them. So they know that there's going to be that problem. So, you know, Clear Smog, I think, is one of the underrated moves. I think it's a really, really good move, and I love using it. Yawn is a fantastic move as well. It obviously, you do take damage from it. It's not as good as things like Sleep Powder, but Yawn allows you to make it drowsy so it'll go to sleep the next turn. So your opponent does have to consider whether they are going to switch out their Pokemon or whether they're going to attack and go to sleep. Now, either way, you can get the upper hand in that situation. Now, I would say the majority of the time they're going to switch out and they're going to bring something else in, but don't quote me on that. I would just say that's what I typically see more often. Now, what you can do at that point is you can switch in another Pokemon that you expect them to switch on you, so you can then get the upper hand in that way. We've also got Disable on here. Disable can be huge for especially choice Pokemon. They will put them into struggle and they will take a lot of damage on recoil. So Disable, absolutely huge move that you can use, as I said, particularly on choice Pokemon, but a large variety of Pokemon, especially if you've got something that, for example, your team is particularly weak to Freeze Dry. You could use Disable on a Freeze Dry and then be able to live on the future attacks. And then Scold, just as the opportunity to burn something. Obviously, Yawn and Scold don't work hand in hand amazingly, but the Scold obviously gets damage off, and you might want to burn something instead of put it to sleep. So, for example, I think like Staraptor. You might want to Scold that so you can get the burn rather than putting it to sleep, because the burn ultimately will probably be much more beneficial than having it to sleep for a couple of turns. EV-wise, gone for max HP, max special defense with a calm nature, so more special defense, less attack, and 4 EVs in special attack. You could run this as max HP, max defense, but I think personally max HP, max special defense is going to work better for you, just mostly because of that Disable. A lot of the attacks that are going to come your way are probably going to be special, so just a really good option to go especially defensive there, but as I said, you can go defensive if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Then we've got a Choice Band Golduck. Now, its attack stat is base 82, so it's not dreadful, but it's not amazing. I put a Choice Band on here to allow it to get that +1 in its attack stat, so that goes to, like, 1.5 times 289. I've completely blanked, but I want to say that goes over 400. So, probably over 400 attack there, which is really, really solid. You've then got Swift Swim as your ability, so this works again in a rain team really fantastically. You've got Waterfall, Power Force type attack, boosted by Stab, boosted by the Rain as well, meaning that you're going to do a lot of damage to the opposing Pokemon, assuming they don't have something like Storm Drain, because I know Gastrodon obviously gets that, and I think Cradily does as well. Brick Break, powerful 5-star attack, also really good for getting rid of Reflect and Light Screens. Obviously they are somewhat common. I don't personally use them very often, but I do see them used quite a bit. Brick Break can just work really handily on getting rid of those. Aerial Ace, because it covers things like your grass types, your bug types, your fighting types as well. Just really good coverage on flying types there. And then Aqua Jet. I thought Aqua Jet on the Choice Band could work really nicely. It gives you that priority, especially if you've got something to set up a lot of speed. But also, if you don't get the opportunity to set up your Rain, it doesn't mean the Golduck is going to be pushed aside because it hasn't got that Rain set up there. And that Aqua Jet could definitely catch an opponent out if they can see that you're already running the Swift Swim set. EV's got max attack and max speed with an adamant nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs and special defense. Same situation as the first one. Your double speed is going to be allowing you to outspeed the vast majority of things, so realistically you don't actually need to have that plus speed nature, so plus attack works much better. Golduck, this is more of a gimmicky set slightly, but it also will work. All 4 of these sets will work. I really like the idea. In fact, I haven't actually used this third set, but I'm definitely going to use that. I think that would be a really good support set for a Golduck. Especially with that Cloud9, especially if you're looking at like VGC, quite often there are going to be weather situations. There is also going to be, in Draft League, there's a lot of weather used as well. In fact, in any of the formats, I think weather is quite a big thing. But anyways, that is going to be all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.